Everybody knows what a plus one is. That was something that was reintroduced by Elizabeth Van Exen last year because it's just a really easy concept to understand. You're bringing your plus one to the party, or you get an invitation and they're asking you to bring a plus one. And so that's the same concept we've got here. It makes sure that everybody knows that membership is kind of everyone's responsibility. It's easy if we divide it, and it talks about, for me, it sort of illustrates the power of one concept that each one of us is worrying about membership, and one at a time, we're adding up to an increase in our membership. We're all on the membership team. If you bring a plus one into the Alliance, if you're responsible for adding a new member, we definitely want you to take a picture with you and your plus one and send it to Tammy, because we want to feature you on our socials and let people know that, one, the plus one campaign is working, that our organization is vibrant and growing, and not to mention, if you bring in a new plus one, you're going to get some new swag. Last year, they had a Stanley type cup with the logo on it. And this year, we haven't quite decided what it will be that you will win. But if you bring in a plus one, we want to reward you for your hard work for the Alliance. I'm going to let Tammy take away this next part and show you the renewal schedule. Our membership renewal cycle kicks off officially October 1st, but the first email for that will go out on the 20th. You can find this schedule on the website. You can see where Tammy's going: resources, membership toolkit, and then you'll go down, and here is our 2025 plus one renewal schedule. You'll see that these emails go out in a form of a letter or email from me. Tammy sends all those out. That's one of the advantages to having somebody like her in our doing that hard work for us. The first email goes out September 20th to remind those on auto renewal that their dues will be debited from their account soon, and to update any credit card on file if they know it's out of date. And just to be sure that they know something's coming out. And then you'll see as it follows, we officially launched the renewal campaign to those people who aren't on auto renew. It says, please renew your membership, and continues until March 10th is our final last chance. We'd love to have you be a member, and time to renew. Anybody have any questions about that schedule or any of the emails that get sent out? Or okay. Well, while the emails come from TMAA in the form of a letter from me, I think we've certainly learned that with our organization, membership is best when it's personal. It's our plus one. It's that personal invitation. And how that's done obviously varies from county to county. There are a few things that are important to remember. If you use Venmo, PayPal, Square, any of those things to supplement your dues collection, you need to make sure you're sending them to TMAA on a regular basis. Keep Tammy informed. This helps us keep our membership database in check and up to date. We don't want some dues that's collected and then it sits out there for a while and we don't have a record of somebody actually becoming a member, because then they're not getting our communications, and we don't want to miss out on making them an official member with our database. Promote auto renewal. This makes it so easy for your county and for those members. It makes sure that they stay members easily and that you don't have to call them or give them a personal reminder. Hey, oh, I'm sorry, I'm looking in the chat. Can we get copies of what each communication piece looks like before they are sent? Yes, Linda, I can send that to you. And if the rest of you want, we can put it in the toolkit.
Well, are you talking about the emails or the letters? Because
oh, okay, I'm gonna let Tammy, I probably overspoke. I'm gonna let Tammy answer that question for you, Linda.
I think this is probably an offline discussion. Those emails are very short. They just go out. The letters are a little more lengthy, so we probably should have a side conversation on that.
Okay.
Did you see did you see Libby's comment about her
No,
question
I'm
about
working on a letter to my
visuals?
alliance. Do you have any visuals or infographics for renewals? Yes, and I will get to that in literally 2 minutes. Um, help us help you. If you know a member has moved or has an updated email address, let us know. We don't always know, and if they don't share it with us, we can't change it in our database. And we are missing emails for some people, or some people have chosen not to share their email with us for one reason or another. But if you know of a member that's not getting our communications, what we have found is we have the monthly memo that comes out, but TMA also has sends Tammy, correct me on the correct name for what TMA, the
TMT, Texas Medicine Today.
TMT. Okay, so at some point in time when you can opt in for TMT, or you can opt in for a lot of other things that are sent out from the organization overall. And sometimes people think, oh, I really don't want to receive all that, and they've accidentally opt themselves out of our communications. So if you or somebody you know is not getting our communications, have them check what their preferences are, or give Tammy or I a call or an email, and we'll check and make sure that they're opted in for the TMA Alliance communications. So tools available to you online under resources. You must be logged in. The first is the dashboard, and Tammy is so facile with this. I'm going to let her show you the things that you can find on this dashboard.
So under resources, the dashboard will not show up here unless you are logged in. And that is because there is addresses, privacy information on the dashboard. So you just go here and you select your alliance. Let's use Bell as an example. And then you can go down and you can see your members. And you can scroll across and see some other information. And you need permission to use the dashboard. So if you go up there and you don't see it after you log in, let me know. We do have every county president, and if a membership chair asks me, because we don't know all of them, then we will add them on as well. So it's just something we need to do on the back end to give you permission to get in there. And it does, you may find that the dashboard doesn't always match what you have. There is a little bit of time lag when things update on the system. So you can always call me. I can always run lists as well, and send those to you for comparison or for anything else that you need. Are there any questions about the dashboard?
Tammy, can you go back to the top of your dashboard and how you got to that membership information? It's under resources?
It's under resources.
Because I'm trying to do it on the other one and I'm not seeing it.
Are you logged in?
Yes. So
You
membership
probably,
dashboards.
well, you should
Like
have
there we go.
permission. Okay.
Yes, now I see it. So I went to the toolkit, not the dashboards. That's what problems. Thank you.
Yeah. And if you're not logged in, you won't see this. You'll just see the toolkit. So you can go down to, whoop, that is tricky to me right there. But you can go to Smith there.
Perfect. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Any other
You
questions?
can always email me if you have any questions later.
Any other questions about the dashboard itself? Okay. The membership toolkit online is a start for some of our things, but we're also going to be sending a membership toolkit to the presidents. And if we have your membership chair contact info, we'll send that to them, but you're also free to forward it. So if you think by any chance we do not have the correct name of your membership chair, if you will either put it in the chat now, or if you will email it to Tammy or I, will make sure that they get on the mailing list for our, even just the mail out of the membership toolkit. You can see online what we've got here, the membership incentive. Remember, this will open January 1st for our new cycle of funds available. And you can request up to $1,500 annually for membership related events. And we just ask that you give us some information about what you're doing in your program and how you think it will recruit or retain members. We just want to make sure, or we want to know how you guys are using this money. It helps us to be able to promote it, and it helps us to be able to help other alliances out there when they're thinking about applying for a grant. So new funds will be available. The new funding cycle starts January 1st, and you can apply right there in the toolkit online. Promotional materials, there's a brochure. It's new, it's generated each year, kind of updates what we're doing, updates the faces that are on there, make sure we look very current, and has our new Power of One logo on there. If you would like any of those, if you'd like printed copies, you can contact Tammy. Automatic dues renewal, we talked about that a little bit, but there is a flyer that you can either print out or direct people to. Personally, I think this is one of the easiest ways to really encourage membership, is by encouraging people to have an automatic dues renewal. How to ask for membership. I think most people on this call are seasoned at asking for membership, but if you know others in your alliance who are not, or you want to take a look at some new ways to ask or to promote the alliance, on there underneath this how to ask for membership, there are several ways to the elevator speech, the phone script, what to say if somebody says no. And one of the things that I think is most helpful is the messaging matrix. And it is it assists you in speaking about the many things that the Alliance offers in our 3 pillars. You know, we have our membership, we have advocacy, and we have community outreach. And sort of some messaging that you might use to address the various membership groups we have. You know, not only do we have spouses, but we also have physicians, resident families, medical students, and it just sort of has some specific messages aimed at those particular groups in each of the advocacy, community outreach, and membership categories. So take a look at those. Like I said, I know most of you are seasoned at asking new members to join, or having your own why you think somebody should renew. But in case you want some new ideas, there you go. So the membership, we're going to plan on mailing out in the next week a membership toolkit that will be mailed to each county. And what it will have in it, our membership brochure, and you can download that. But if you'd like, again, if you'd like printed copies, contact Tammy. A QR code to use with any of your county promotional emails, socials, or on a poster at an event that takes you to our TMAA website. Some counties, I know, I think Tarrant County has their own, and I think Nueces. Am I right about that, Julie? You have your own QR code?
We do have a QR code that takes us to our Square account, and
Okay. So
Grace is on here too. I'm not sure if there, I know we have a website, but I don't know if there's anything on that website or not. But
okay. So you may have
Grace
one in your county that you use, but this would be one that is for the statewide overall that you can use. And then what I think is really valuable are several downloadable versions of our newest +1 logo. There'll be a banner, and there'll be a social media sized graphic. And so you can use those. We're sending those to, and if you have some special need, you need it to be not a banner or social media sized, or if you want some other options, you can talk to Tammy about that. We have several options, but in order to keep the email mailable without a lot of data in it. We're including those two. A reminder about the printing and graphics services, $500 for every alliance every year. And then, you can use that for whatever you want, invitations, posters, and then the membership incentive. And again, we talked about that. The new cycle opens January 1st. So I don't want this to be, I want this to be a conversation. What's working well for you in terms of renewal? What's working well in terms of getting lapsed members back? I want to hear what y'all are doing in your counties that are working and that other counties can benefit from.
Sophia in Tarrant County. For renewals, last year and then this past week, we have been printing. We've been creating, what do you call it? Stickers. Oh, I can move over here. Stickers that that Linda Kennedy makes. Basically, it has the steps. Renewal season is here. You can go online. We also encourage, to do auto renewal, and we have the QR code that goes directly there. We don't send this to everyone, but almost everyone received it last week because I think only like 5 people renewed at that time. So I made sure those 5 people did not have the sticker. We do mention it in the board meetings. I encourage, all the board members to be on auto renewal and to renew, by the October meeting. What else do we do? For also to try to bring back lapsed members. This past meeting, I printed off the names of lapsed members from the last 5 years, I believe. And I passed it around and I asked people to put their name, to circle the lapsed member, and put their name next to somebody they're going to try to bring back. And I also, in our mailings, it talks about the upcoming events. We have that physician family wellness series and the calendar events. I bring extra copies to the board meeting so they can hand it to prospective members as well. So that's like the things we're doing right now.
I love that you use some of your upcoming events as sort of a promotion for why you'd want to join the Alliance.
Yes. And like, we don't invite like just any prospective member to all the events. We try to, have them come to something that we think they would like. So if it was a young couple, maybe not a family event that has just a bunch of kids, even though, you can still meet physicians there. But maybe if they like something more social, we would bring them to the Texas whiskey or that wine and pizza night we'll have as an intro event. That's it.
Thank you. Angelique?
Yeah, hi. Okay. Sorry I was late. The air conditioner inspector came just out of the blue. So I was hustling through the house. What helped a lot last year was when I was doing the newsletter, all the graphics, I put the link to the TMA, I attached it to all our newsletters and used all this material. I love all the material that's provided. And so that seemed to draw some interest, and we did have a few people come back. And anyway, I think people enjoyed and I attached the monthly memo. I'd attach that to our newsletter. So I think that was effective for Dallas. So I just wanted to throw that in there.
Great. Libby, you're a membership guru. You've been around a long time. And any tips?
No, I'm in the process of trying to get our newsletter out ASAP, and I'm having a hard time taking the PDF and making it a JPEG so I can upload it into MailChimp. So I've been Googling and trying to figure that out while you're talking.
That does not sound like a fun task.
No, I'm a little stressed out. But, I think the key point is personal touch, following up with, a one-to-one. We'd really like to have you back. we miss you, but you can't ignore the fact that you definitely have to have engaging programs to or events for people to want to be a part of, and the connection they're going to get there. So I think I missed who said it, but you don't invite everybody to everything. And I think that's kind of a key, because you've got to have things for family, you got to have things for just spouses, you got to have things that, we have a lot of people that don't drink in our alliance. So we have to be mindful that we at least have some events that are fun and engaging that do not include alcohol. So I think that is a key also, and something that might be easily overlooked from time to time. But otherwise, I mean, this is all stuff we all know and we try to do. It's just really hard because you also know if you're married to medicine, you have limited time, extra time to fill it with socials and things. So I don't know what the silver bullet is, but I do know I think we're all on the right track, and I think combining everybody's ideas is what's really going to be the most helpful.
Angelique?
Just quick question. For the alliances that have a good relationship with the medical schools, who did you contact to be able to do things for the medical students? Is there a student affairs office, or we had talked about trying to do like a pizza party or something fun one day for up at UT Southwestern?
There should be a student affairs office. I've dealt with those several times for outreach programs, so I would think most schools probably do have a student affairs office.
And I know in the past, in Bear County, we have, sometimes you have some of those people serving, some of those administrators of the medical school serving on your society boards. And that's a great way to reach out. And then you have a personal contact, and you have somebody who's invested in organized medicine. They understand what the society is doing. They likely then understand what the alliance is doing, or you have a chance to have a good education piece there. And that sometimes makes a good contact. Mercedes?
Can I say something? Hi, everyone.
That's
The
right.
other thing, so there's two different points here when you're talking about medical students. So one is reaching the medical students, right? So medical students and the actual residents, and that definitely here in Tarrant is done through our connection with the society, but also plugging in to each of the medical schools here in Fort Worth have a TMA club. So plugging in and talking to those officers and those individuals. So, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you are reaching the family, right? The spouse. So we have had luck. We had at our event, we had 2 couples that were medical student couples come out through kind of word of mouth at those events, but it's not a large amount. What I would suggest doing, and I don't know how successful it will be, we are just trying it out, but if you have the ability to follow their wellness programs, so for example, the residency programs, we on Instagram and on they're not on Facebook, they're on Instagram. It's Instagram. So you follow like for example, Baylor Scott and White GME residency program has an Instagram. So does the Texas Health Fort Worth. They have an Instagram account. Every single class has an Instagram account. So TCOM 27, TCOM 28. So I mean, that's a great way if you have it not only with your alliance's account, but I follow them with my own personal account, and I like and I comment, and I mean we're trying to build a relationship, but I can't say like it's been successful, but we know what's happening. But we're doing those two strategies. And then we also have on the board, we have an APT person, a physician in training liaison board position that works directly with that. Last year and this year, I believe, last year, Sophia created a welcome to Fort Worth handout with a couple QR codes, and it had all like family friendly activities and what to do and the Trinity trails and where to go and what to, all these little things that insiders know. And she delivered those and sent those to the program coordinators.
Wow, I love that idea. I will say that sometimes, and this is not necessarily membership renewal cycle related, but I have used political fundraisers. Medical students and residents are very happy to have free food and free drinks. And so if you find one contact, you can say, share this with your friends, as many as you want. Bring them, make sure they bring their spouses. And that's a great chance to invite them to an event. It doesn't cost them anything. They don't, and frequently you'll have at least one resident or medical student serving on your legislative council and your society if you're involved there, or you can ask who you could share that information with. Or if you're going to something for medicine, if the Alliance, if it's on a, for me, we do a lot of the fundraisers here in Bear County, so I have that advantage. But, so you may have to work a little harder in your counties if you don't have that connection. But that was a great way to get a connection anyway. And low, it was low risk on their part. They came for free food and drinks. Julie says, we do a raffle at a general meeting in the fall to encourage members to renew or potential new members to join in a timely manner. Good idea. It makes Tammy's job immensely easier if we get everybody renewed early. Anybody use
I'll
the-
piggyback on that.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. This is
No,
Renee
go
from
ahead,
Smith County.
Renee.
Just when with the raffle, in our group, we decided that to renew or become renewed is one ticket. To get into auto renewal is 2 tickets. So we are still kind of
Oh.
encouraging them to do it with even more, I guess, was my point.
Are you listening, Victoria and Brittany? Because we have a fall event coming up, and we're hoping that we will be able to invite some potential new members to that event, and that sounds like a really great idea.
You could also say if someone brings a +1, maybe they get like 5 entry, like give them even more entries.
Yes, yes.
Okay, I have one for +1. Okay. Anybody use, I mean, that's a great way. One of my questions was, what ways have you used the +1 theme to promote your membership? Anybody have any unusual ways that you've used that tagline or used it in promotional materials, or have you designed parties or events surrounding that? Angelique?
Well, this just occurred to me when Lisa was talking. A couple of things. Well, Candy Evans has already started using that in some communications with her board, but I just thought of something that would be really, really fun to do, is maybe there was someone that I knew that annually did a very, very big Toy for Tots party at her house. And the Marines would be there and people would all, bring the gift. And then you got raffle tickets for every gift that you brought. You get an entry. And you'd put all that in the hopper, and then we'd have a lunch, and then at the end, and then a lot of people would donate raffle prizes. And then at the end, there's like 20 minutes of people winning, prizes. But I have to say, it is probably one of the funnest things because it's at a house. It's very casual. You're supporting a nonprofit. And you walk away with, most of the time, a gift. So that might be something that in each of our counties, we might find a cause that we might want to do something like that for.
Nice.
Just a thought, but to make it a membership drive too, bring +1. That's what I was trying to say too. Bring someone to it.
Nice. Mercedes?
I came in. I just wanted to piggyback on that, and Sophia's here too. We're
Getting
we have
glam.
our photo shoot, and we've taken over this location for hair and makeup. But we how important it is. You said that Candy was introducing it to the board, and we just did that yesterday. And that was our first step last year. We really took the +1 theme, and we don't even say membership campaign without saying +1. So, and we reintroduced it to the board, not only as bring a +1, a new person, but we said, who's missing from your favorite alliance picture? Who do you not see at events anymore? Bring a +1, re-engage that person, re-engage someone you haven't seen. So we took +1 to just everything having to do with membership engagement and membership recruitment.
Right. How did you introduce it to your board? Or for those of you who have introduced it to your board and gotten board buy-in, how did you get that board buy-in?
Oh, like I think I mentioned it earlier, bringing perspective, reaching out into your contacts. So inviting them to an upcoming event that we think they'll enjoy. I talked about how, yes, for the big events, like our Texas whiskey, or maybe like not the medicine ball, but we have a DeLuca wine and pizza night, like a couples one. Those are great ones to bring to if you think they will enjoy it, but also our smaller special interest group events like Walk the Trinity, we would walking group. We have a mini alliance for people with young kids. We will have one with go ahead.
Yeah. No, we gave them a lot of opportunities to plug in. And the key thing is, especially with board members, because you got to remember, all board members, we're all volunteers, right? So just like trim it down and make it easy and just make it visual. So what we did was, honestly, it was a 7-slide at most presentation at a board meeting. And it was just that. And if you want, Jenny, we can send it to you. But it's essentially it's getting buy-in from them, and it's using the graphics that are provided by that Tammy's sending, and that +1 membership, and then integrating it with your own pictures and what that looks like. So we would say like, bring a +1, a new member. And then we would put a picture of a board member with the +1 that they brought. Here's an example. It's just, we had to really, really kind of trim it down to make it relatable. And also, the other thing is bring a +1, somebody that you've asked multiple years ago, right? Maybe someone you asked 5-10 years ago and they said no, but bring them now. And then we would put a picture of someone who like expressed that, that type of person, right? Our board member with her friend that she's been asking,
just became an empty nester.
Right. Just became an empty nester. So it was like the right time, so I could definitely send it. It's a reel that we post on our social media. And then at the end, there's a QR code with how to join. But honestly, we also, and I don't know if you guys have handbooks, and we really use this concept for +1, of who's missing. Bring your +1, who's missing. So we would put like pictures, like old school pictures, and then newer pictures, and be like, is someone missing? Or look in your handbook, and we put a picture of the handbook, and we would just flush that out to our board, to our members, and then via social media too. So it wasn't just +1 new member. It was like +1 lapsed member, and that's how we got. And I say we, this is Sophia, this chick here, she got 13 lapsed members last year. And I was so doubtful. I'm just going to tell you guys right now, but She did it. And she did it with the +1 campaign and with this approach.
That's impressive. I'll also tell you that it took me a decade before I joined the Alliance. So I'm laughing when I hear you say, find somebody that you asked maybe 10 years ago, because that is, you are singing my story there that somebody asked me to join and I went to an event and I didn't necessarily feel welcome or that I fit in. And it took a long time, it took a couple of asks. So that's a good lesson and something good to remember. Anybody else have great membership tips that they want to share? What about for, has there been a point for any of you where your county struggled a little bit to know who to reach out to and getting membership? What are the suggestions for those counties who are maybe really need to, they really need some help generating new members outside of their small group that they've got now? There's no magic answer, sadly.
From Smith County, I will say that we have always had kind of a robust membership, but with privacy laws, and I think it was Mercedes who kind of mentioned that even though we can get information about the physicians coming, we are really hitting a, a wall when it gets to engaging the family and the spouse. And so it's not necessarily that we are losing members or can't get new members, but it's definitely a new hurdle, engaging these younger members and trying to get information to them about us.
I'd be interested to know on here, after you've gotten a new member, what do you do? What happens next? Do they get a thank you note? Do they get a follow-up call? Do they get a personal invitation to the next event? What happens? How do you retain them and how do you engage them right off the bat?
Are you asking me in particular or just
And
anybody?
anyone who's got some great ideas. But Renee, since
Well, for us, and last year, again, we haven't really started this year, but last year, Catherine Harrison was president, and she was very, very good about making sure that each person was kind of buddied up with the new person to either reach out with a note or a text. So if we knew them, obviously, that was just the easy person to pick. But even if it was someone that no one knew, you know, at most you would have probably one or two people that you were just sort of asked to reach out to for the next event or invite them to something and just kind of have a little follow-up because it was, and that I think was very helpful.
Good. Angelique, what do you guys?
Well, it's interesting you brought it up because a friend of mine had joined, and when I had joined many years ago, it was through another friend, and so I always just, whenever I was getting started, I just automatically gravitated to her. When I invited a friend, and we did several events together, but one day, that's what she told me. She said, "You know, when I joined, nobody called, or I didn't get a thank you note or a little gift or whatever." And it never even occurred. I thought, oh my gosh. So we one day sat down and we went through, all these ideas of some kind of little welcome gift that we could automatically send or give to someone, just to let them know that they are appreciated and we want to get them started. But nothing, that it kind of stopped after that. But I think it's a great idea to have something that you present or mail or drop by. And I also like the idea of welcome families, because like when you go to a new school or for us, you go to a new school, there's always a welcome family that helps you get settled. So we should have like a welcome, I think that's a great thing. You pair up a new member with someone. I hadn't thought of that.
Good.
I'm going to say one thing that Travis County does as well is our past presidents and current board are always aware of who like potential members are as they come into meetings. And we make sure that there's always someone or several someones that engage with any potential member, because then there's more connection than just your plus one that you've brought. And we make sure that they do feel welcome when they come in, because that is really important. You never want to walk into a room, even if you're with your friend, because eventually the friend's going to get pulled aside and chit chat with the other members. So you always want to make sure that there are other people greeting at the actual meeting as well, so you can make those connections.
Right, because then you don't come back for 10 years. Lori?
Yes. When I was in Travis County, again, talking about Travis County, I was the membership chair, and they may still be doing this, but there was a packet ready to go, and it was someone was in charge of mailing those out once they got notice that someone had joined. And the packet included a welcome letter from the president. And in that letter, it listed the different ways they could become involved. And it was, just a general welcome letter and the different ways they could be a part of the organization. I think there was a calendar in there. There was a little gift, and it was just a simple one of those bags that you can fold up, and it had the logo on it. And it was mailed out to each new member, and they may still be doing that. But I think that was a great way for someone who just registered to receive something physical in appreciation.
Nice.
I'm glad you just said that, Lori, because Travis County had their first general meeting this morning, and they were talking about the agenda. Our current membership has got packets ready to start mailing back out to potential members. And something else that they're doing this year that's not just engaging potential, but I think trying to keep people active and engaged is, I got a letter today, or last week, I can't remember, but I don't know the last time I got a snail mail. And I think that so often we stop reading emails and we're just clicking off. So I got a calendar, or here's our next couple of general meetings. And I was like, oh, I actually know what's going on at Travis, where I might not have opened up our Vital Signs newsletter until a membership meeting was gone. So that's always, I guess going back can actually kind of renew interest and doing something different that we'd all forgotten about.
Nice. Tammy's put in the chat, TMA does send a welcome card and a small gift to new members, but I really think it's still valuable to get it from the county also. I mean, that's the person you've made the personal contact with. It's good to get something from the state, but I also kudos to you who are handwriting or sending something in addition. Mercedes, you have your hand up.
Yeah, I was just going to mention also that, what I think that membership trends are changing. I don't have the research, but before, what I heard from a lot of the Alliance established members was, they would people would come to a meeting, and they're at that meeting, boom, sign up, right? And I think that the trend at least is changing. So it might take a little bit. It might take a little while. So having a follow-up, or having even if it's not necessarily, just to capture those prospective members who don't sign up right away. We have great members now who, it took 3-4 months to really cultivate them and steward them along the process. And what we have here in Tarrant is a prospect list. So we make sure that that is shared with the membership team. And that way we keep track of people kind of where they are, what events they attended, or, who's contacted them. So just so people don't fall through the cracks.
Great. Okay. Anybody else have anything else related to membership that you want to share?
I just wanted, can I jump in?
Yes,
I just
yes,
want to reiterate to you guys, I think Linda said it really well at the very beginning. She said people are interested in people and not causes sometimes. And so utilizing that personal touch as well as your social media is a great way to get people to, like Lydia said, an email that you may or may not click through, and you actually have a real person. Where I think the state can really help out and support you is helping you make social media posts, helping you make newsletters, helping you make handouts. They can help you make marketing material that, where I have not been that involved in that kind of software for a really long time. And then I got a Canva membership. And so, I will help you I can help you make something on social media, but if that's something that you guys don't have as a strength within your county, ask the state, because that's something very easy that we can help support you, and you can still maintain your personal county touch and utilize resources that the state might be able to do something really easy that if social media or just marketing material is a weakness for your county, ask the state is something easy that we can help support you do and helps keep your marketing materials personal and help keep them, telling about your events. It doesn't have to be state materials. They can also help you make things for your county.
Thank you. Okay, I want to close out with two things. One is in your reminder call or your reminder email from Tammy about this call today, we focused on the new enrichment series workshop coming up, Thrive Through Transitions, Mastering Change with Confidence. And we wanted your input on the best day and time. And that doodle poll link is in that reminder email, but I'll put it in my recap email that's coming. We just want to find the best time so that the most people can attend. For the county that has the most people attending that enrichment series, we will send you some swag, TMA swag. Not quite sure what it will be yet, but we'll make it worth your while for gathering people on the call. I think it'll be a really interesting call. We talked to Doreen. She's presented to us before, and initially we thought about a retirement type thing as we have some members who are in that transition. And really, as we started to flesh the idea out, transition kind of applies to a lot of things. We transition from medical school to residency and residency to private practice, maybe for the first time. And then from private practice, you might be transitioning to either academics, or you might say medicine. I no longer want to practice in a traditional way. I'm going to go do something else related. Retirement, and then even for some of our widowed members, that is a big adjustment and a transition as they move into that portion of their life. So this is about transitions of all types. So it's appropriate for all ages in our membership, and we just want to find the right time or date, and those that will be in November, either the 14th or the 19th, and trying to figure out whether morning, noon, or an evening time frame would be the best. And my last thing is, as we met for our board orientation, we talked about what's working for the Alliance, what's not working for the Alliance, where we can improve. And one of the interesting things that came out of that conversation was this call started when it was COVID, and we designed it as a listening session so that we could hear what issues you all were having. And so the call was named County Leadership Listening Session. But people said they didn't really like that name, and it didn't really feel like that's what we wanted to do here. We want to support you. We want it to be a call where people are talking and maybe listening. Made it sound too much like I'm going to come, or the next president's going to come, and we're just going to talk at you and you would be listening. So we wanted to find a name that fit what we're doing here better. And so we would love for you all to submit to us some creative names or something that just seems to fit the call better. What we're doing here, supporting each other, supporting county leaders. And if you will submit that to Tammy or I, and we'll take a vote on it. Any last questions? Thank you. I know it takes time out of your day and you had other things. You could have had that other cup of coffee, Lydia. But I really appreciate that you all came, you shared your ideas. It makes us all better. So thank you. We'll see you next month.
Thank
Oh,
you.
no,
Bye-bye.
actually, we'll see you hopefully at AllMed, or not AllMed, I'm sorry, Fall Conference in my hometown of San Antonio. So
Bye-bye.
thank you.